International Ave. If you know, you know. Join us with RSG Swiss as we explore his conceptual album and what he's up to, making big waves in this music industry on to music. Let's get it. Ever wonder why you can't get that song out of your head? Well, I'm here to explore how music shapes the stories, people, and industries we love. Catch an episode and let's talk about the music. Just finished up a great conversation with Tisa Rahim, and now I'm sitting here with my dude RSG Swiss. Just came back from Ontario, back and forth across the country, making some amazing music. Thanks for being here on the show, my man.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course.
Cool.
You just recently put out a debut project called International Ave. Bring me into the loop on what's that about and what it represents, man.
Man, again, first off, thank you everyone for having me here. Big honor to be here. International Ave is a project obviously based off of 17th, which, they kind of did the whole undertaking gentrification of redoing it, putting it under a bit of a different light, not in a way that I think was positive, and that's a whole nother discussion that we kind of draw to light in the EP a little bit, and this, the discussions that kind of touches on, maybe not directly, but maybe conversations that it sparks, indirectly, through the content matter and things like that. So.
Totally.
Yeah, man.
And what's your favorite song off the album? There's a lot of bangers on that one, man.
Yeah, that's tough, man. There's a lot. I would say, the title track has got to be definitely up there because there's sentimental. I had a family member there with me when I was recording it, so it was really important. A tough time, and just kind of a reminder of what good can come from continuing to push the art, even when things are a little rough, having your people there, continuing to do your kind of continue to draw on what basically makes you an artist at the end of the day. That's what gets us all through that, right? So International Ave is definitely up there on that. And then there's a secondary is Galaxy. That's a big one too. So yeah. That's just a banger track, man. Big track, spacey track, kind of speaks for itself. So.
Yeah, man. And I love hearing you talk too, because it's just everything with you is so much bigger than the music. You know what I mean? The music's one thing, the art, the creative, but everything, there's a bigger message, there's a bigger meaning. Yeah, man, what kind of inspired that sort of self-realization of where you want to head and the leader you wanted to be?
Excuse me. Man, nothing directly, to be honest with you. It was really just a process that happened over time, bro. I'm still kind of taking everything in as it goes, right? Which is kind of how you have to do things at the end of the day, step by step, day by day. Overarching goals are extremely important, but then also taking everything as it comes, and understanding that you have to be okay with everything as it comes. I think that's the most important thing that I've learned, that kind of just guided me naturally without a direct causation towards trying to be a leader. And I still, maybe a bit of imposter syndrome in that kind of a terminology, because I just do my thing and everyone around me is doing their thing too. So,
yeah.
It works well. That's all it is, right?
Man, well said. Very humble. I love it, man. I love it. What, the creative process for you? I've been lucky enough to be in studio sessions with you, but I know you do a lot of some of your best work when you're just completely alone and locked in as well. Bring me in on what a day in the studio can look like for you. Man,
it just really depends, because when does the day start, when does the day end? I'll be up 20 hours a day. I'll be doing the 2 hour thing, but at the end of the day, if I'm getting in there early, it's really get my coffee. The people at the office, they kind of, it's kind of a running joke. I drink the Tim Hortons like crazy, man. That's my little vice. That's my thing. So,
yeah.
And, and have my smokes or whatever, and I'm not a cigarette smoker, so you know what I mean? And then I just get in there and kind of do my art. And I think mornings are good for kind of getting writing out of the way. That's kind of how I rock things, writing, production, things like that. Midday is just tackling the stuff that needs to be done, and you get it over with, and then that passes the midday, and then back to kind of creativity towards the end of the night to wind things down, if I were to really kind of break it down in a way that looks like that.
Yeah, man. It's you gotta sandwich the stuff in between, right? The exciting dopamine stuff.
Yeah.
Let's write music and just be completely creative. That's the wave you want to catch in the morning, because that can start a good day, and then you sandwich in that administrative.
All the shit you don't want to do.
TikTok dance.
Am I allowed to say bad language on this? Yeah, I'm
Fuck it, right?
Okay, cool, man. Yo,
Say it.
bitch. You know what I'm saying?
But no, man, that 100% is, and then yeah, like the end of the day, you know, that makes sense to, you know, that's kind of when we've released a lot of other things out of our system. We're kind of now just a vessel for what happens.
That's what it is, man. Yeah, you're fresh off, you know, like fresh slate in the morning, and then you feel accomplished in the evening. You know, that's a good way to do things. I feel like that's definitely a proper way to look at it. So yeah.
Yeah, man. And then how important has like balance and stuff been in core? Like I know what it's like on the grind and putting in the dues in the trenches and stuff, but as you've evolved your journey, have you started to find some things that help you kind of balance this crazy lifestyle?
Definitely, man. You need to. Like, at the end of the day, like, it'll kill you, man. Like any lifestyle, anything that you live, if you really want to do it to an extreme, you know. At the end of the day, any career you're in, any path you're in, there's going to be an inherent risk, and some are greater than others, but almost everything you do, man, you're like working with something that causes this over time, or you're taking a risk with what you do, right? So it's like, there's a balance of like also understanding that you can't be glued to a screen 24/7. In a case of music, you can't be isolated just doing this. Or, you know, if you're dealing with like somebody, you know, dealing with like a dangerous chemical in construction, be like, you know, don't spend all your time in that room. Wear a mask, wear a respirator, do the things that you can, preventative stuff like that. I think that's the most important balance that people kind of neglect on a day-to-day, but it ultimately adds up. You know, it's easy to be like, oh, I'm young, oh this, oh that, I'll deal with that tomorrow. And at the end of the day, years go by and your health is affected, man. And then that does transition into obviously support systems around you. You know, I grew up with none of that, so fortunately I have a lot of that now. A lot to me, which is still, I think, relatively small, maybe compared to what some people might consider a lot, but for me, it's all that I ever asked for and more, man, and I feel very, you know, full in my heart. So, you know, very grateful, being grateful and having those people. Exercise, you're talking about balance, water, you know, food, you know, all that stuff is important. You do that, sleep, you know, you do all that, you'll feel good.
Yeah, man, and all those things, it seems like so like redundant and common sense, but I mean, when you're locked in and you're in a creative flow state, you do gotta remind yourself of that shit. You do get to, hours and days can go by.
Easily.
You know what I mean? And it's true, man, like if you want longevity, you know, I love that you're already saying that about, you know, that says maturity about an artist. And I think that's an important thing for a lot of artists and other people watching to take into account of just that balance and taking care of mind, body, and soul while we try to change the world one song at a time, right?
Yeah, that's what it is, man. Exactly that. Yeah,
man. And where can people find you? Just like, you know, in tune with your career and shit.
Man, so RSG Swiss, so that's RSG, like Rat Squad Gang, _ Swiss. So that's on Instagram, RSG _ Swiss. RSG Swiss, just with the space in between on Spotify. You know, I'm on YouTube. You look up RSG Swiss, I'll pop up. That's pretty much where I'm doing my thing mostly. You know, catch me on TikTok, all that. But really, you know, just catch me on IG. Catch me doing my thing, like on Spotify, obviously. And really, like, you know, get on it before, you know, blows up, so you can say you're on it. That's all it is, man. So it's like, you know what that is.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Dope, man.
Dope.
Okay. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Much love. Thank you, guys.
Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. What an awesome time chatting with RSG Swiss here. Stay tuned for some next episodes. Thanks for tuning into the music. Thanks for joining us on The Music. Stay tuned for more deep dives on how the music shapes the world around us. Until then, keep the beat alive.